Woohoo! Welcome back to Shifts and Giggles, where we talk about the shifts that shake us up, wake us up, and hopefully leave us feeling a little lighter, more wise, and more connected along the way. Today, we're talking about alignment because my guest today, Dr. Walter Trinidad, believes that sometimes the reason we feel off in life is because our bodies are off too. Dr. Walter is an upper cervical chiropractor with a passion for helping people reconnect to their health, energy, and vitality in a whole new way. Over the years, his work has evolved from traditional chiropractic techniques into a fascinating approach called QSM3, quantum spinal mechanics, which looks at the body as this beautifully interconnected system instead of a bunch of separate parts. Translation: tiny shifts can create big changes. And honestly, I think we can all relate to that. So today we're diving into the magic of alignment, the intelligence of the body, stress, tension, healing, and why sometimes one small adjustment can create ripple effects in every area of life. So if you've ever said, I feel off, I'm exhausted, my body's trying to tell me something, or there has got to be another way, this conversation is for you. So welcome, Dr. Walter Trinidad.
Morning. Good morning.
I love this. I have so many questions for you.
I'm ready.
You ready? Okay. I want to know how you got to be an upper cervical chiropractor.
So, kind of at the right place, right time.
Yeah.
At the time, I was dating somebody that worked for an upper cervical chiropractor, and I was kind of in between. I was kind of at a fork in the road in my life as to where to proceed. This is many decades ago. I was in my early 20s, and um, yeah. So this individual worked for an upper cervical chiropractor,
Wow.
and
So this was a while ago. Until recently, I've never heard of an upper cervical chiropractor.
oh yeah. There's not many out there. If we're talking about specific techniques, if we're talking about the NUCA, which is the National Upper Cervical Chiropractic Association, there's approximately, let's say, 2 to 300 in the country.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's a very
Neat.
specialized technique. It's very, very magical. Um, and oftentimes it's postgraduate work, so it's time and money, right? You graduate after spending X amount, a decade of schooling, and you're like, what now? Oh, more schooling, more learning? And obviously, right, life is always learning, always,
That's
constant learning,
true.
constantly.
Hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully, right? So I started working with this individual. I was doing their health screenings, and one thing led to another. And they said, "Hey, I got a grand idea. Why don't you go to Cairo school?" So we did.
Wow. That's
We
really
did.
cool.
And the
So
plan obviously was, graduate and go work for this individual that did upper cervical work.
I love
And that's
that.
what happened.
So, I mean, I consider myself pretty immersed in health and wellness, and honestly, until recently, I never understood that there was an upper cervical chiropractor versus a regular chiropractor. How would you characterize the difference in the approach?
Um, I would say it's the way the body's analyzed, right? Where's the misalignment? First, the misalignment's only going to be there's this joke with upper cervical chiropractors that the spine starts in the brain, right? And it ends literally right here because that's where C1 is. That's where the first vertebra is. And
Right.
not that the rest of the spine isn't important because it obviously is, but they focus on C1. They focus on the relationship between the skull, the first vertebra, and the second vertebra. So it's the way you analyze the spine. The technique may be a little bit different, but upper cervical work is making sure that first vertebra is aligned properly. It's holding up your skull. It's not touching any nerves or more importantly, the brainstem. So it's the way you analyze the body that makes a big of a difference.
I love that. Um, so what brings the body back into alignment?
What brings it back into alignment?
Yeah, like
It's the
or
adjustment. It's the adjustment, but it goes deeper than that, right?
yeah, talk about that for me.
And I'm gonna make a little bit of an analogy here. If you get a little boo-boo, you get a scrape, a cut, you break something, you never sit there and go, "Oh my God, I hope this heals. I hope come on, heal, 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 heal." No, right? Your innate system, it heals it for you. So all we're doing as chiropractors is facilitating your body to do its best job, which is to heal.
So you're kind of like so would you consider yourself a fixer or a healer?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Of course. But we're removing the interference in the nervous system. I got a question for you, Beth.
Oh, he's turning the tables
The
already.
tables have turned. There's one organ in the body that controls literally everything. You want to take a stab at it?
Uh-huh.
One organ.
One organ? Is the
Mhm.
brain an organ?
Yes, it is.
Is the
So
brain
your
the
brain
answer?
controls, yeah, you got 100. You got two gold stars today.
Yay!
So, the brain controls literally everything, and that turns into a brainstem, which turns into your spinal cord. And that spinal cord is housed within your vertebra, your spine. And if
Right.
that's misaligned from an accident, injury, bad patterns, it's going to cause nerve irritation. And wherever that nerve is going, it's not going to function properly. As humans, our body adapts incredibly to anything. So it'll adapt to that bad pattern. Now you
Right.
have people walking all crooked.
Okay.
So it can cause a number of different things in the body. So we go in as a chiropractor, we realign your spine, and we let your body heal. We let your body do what it does best, which is its innate system working optimally.
I love that. How did you like, so do you think the body whispers before it screams?
Oh yeah. The key though is learning to listen.
Oh, there's that.
There's that problem. Yeah, it's listening, right? It's and this is true for everything. This gets into like a really cool conversation
Cool.
because it's like, isn't it true for everything? If you really pay attention, you can hear, you can see things, right? So if you pay little attention to your body, it gives you little clues. It leaves little clues here and there. And if you don't listen, it makes it a
Screams
bigger
louder.
problem. It screams louder and pain comes into it and says, "Hey, we got to take care of this before it gets even worse." So yeah, it whispers initially and then it yells at you. Kind
And
of
why
same with the
don't we
universe though too,
listen?
right?
Why don't we listen?
I don't know if you know that answer. Tell me, please.
I do not.
I'm
I,
listening.
I think listening is would solve a lot of people's problems, right?
It's a few things, right? It's knowing what you're listening to and what do you do with that information.
Right.
You could hear it and do absolutely nothing with it. All right.
That's where
So
the
there's a few
screaming
different
comes
steps
in.
there. Hmm.
Um, so what do our necks carry besides our heads?
Ooh, that's a tough question.
I,
Um,
I love tough questions.
anatomically it carries our brain, our head, right? But there's a whole consciousness in there, and what does
Yeah.
that carry? That's what creates the ripple effect, where you create a narrative, and um, there's something called the placebo effect. I don't know if you've ever heard of that or not,
Yeah,
right?
explain it though for
Placebo.
people.
Yeah. So in reality, we have everything in our body to fix ourselves. But if you're constantly telling your body's always listening, by the way, whether you're listening or not, your body is listening to your words, right? So if you think you're not going to heal, no, you're never going to heal. You could go to the best doctors and it's just not going to happen for you. So I am a believer in placebo effect. Um, I do believe our bodies are incredible at healing themselves. So to answer your question about what we carry an incredible organ, an incredible computer system in our brain, in our head. So yeah, we don't just carry this 15-pounder thing on our shoulders
This
and neck.
bowling ball.
Yeah.
Well, and it's true. Like our thoughts are super powerful, and a lot of times we walk around not even knowing what our thoughts are,
Mhm.
for better or for worse. And there's where that listening piece comes in, right?
Yeah.
It's like, well, what are my thoughts?
I mean, and I don't know the exact statistics, but what is it, like 50 to 60,000 thoughts are the same every single day?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's gonna have an impact. That's gonna have an impact.
Especially if it's a negative thought pattern, right?
Well, unfortunately, right, it's way too easy to go down that route. Way
Yeah.
too easy. You
Yeah.
start
Well,
questioning yourself and spiral downward into that rabbit hole.
yeah, especially if you're listening to the news every day.
No, thank you. But yeah, no, current set of events, right? Daily
Yeah.
activities, daily lives.
What
Uh,
other people
you know,
think about
per
us, judgments.
person that cut me off on the highway.
I just smile at them.
I try to.
Yeah.
I try to. I do my best.
Um, if the spine could talk, what would it say?
It does talk. Not in language, right? But pain is a great indicator.
That's
Nobody
true.
likes to be uncomfortable, but pain is an amazing indicator. Sometimes I joke around with my patients, right? Um, I know I don't know if you currently have a car or don't have a car, if you drive or don't drive, but let's just say that you're on the highway and the check engine light comes on. Just don't worry about it. Put some tape
I
over
turn
it.
my radio up louder.
Yeah, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. So your body's extremely analogous to that, right? You get a little ache here. Yeah, you might ignore it initially, but if it gets louder, that's your spine talking to you. That's your nervous system saying, "Hey, we need to take care of this immediately before it gets worse." Um, Pain is a great indicator. Nobody likes it, but it's a great indicator.
Yeah. So, what do people come to you for? What kinds of ailments do people come to you for?
Everything from the traditional or more common low back pain, neck pain, to the more severe stuff like vertigo. I have some patients that have some really severe neurological things where they get dizzy or foggy thoughts. They can't think clearly, trouble sleeping, more neurological things, and that's where upper cervical truly becomes really beautiful. I've seen it fix some amazing, some really terrible things, and in such an amazing way that I'm still impressed these days. Where I'm like, whoa, like that just happened. That's crazy.
All right, so tell us about one of those holy shift moments.
Um, Not too long ago, I have a patient who has and it's called Chiari malformation, and it's basically your brain is pouching out. It's protruding, right? That's not good.
No,
That's
that
not good.
doesn't sound
It's
good.
a it's a it's a pouching out of the cerebellum, and the cerebellum is responsible for holding us up, and that can cause you to feel a little bit dizzy, a little off balance. Um, anyway, so I have this patient coming in, and you could see it in her eyes, like she's stressed and she's frustrated, understandably so, right? And we adjusted her, and it would be amazing if everything cleared up. But the one thing that was really amazing and spectacular was that she got up off the table, and you could see in her eyes it's almost like the light had been turned on. There was a
I
little bit of
love that.
sparkle in her eyes. She was a little bit more alert. Yeah, she still had a little bit of a headache, but just that little change gave her tremendous hope. And that's in a way what we do. We give people hope.
That's beautiful.
Mhm.
And people come to you for all sorts of things. I mean, I think people traditionally think about chiropractic as back pain, right? But
So if our
chiropractic is
spine,
it's a full
if
system healing method, right?
yes, if our spine was in our thumbs, we'd be called thumb doctors, right? So going back to your point about not having heard about upper cervical, a lot of people don't know what chiropractors do. And that's on the chiropractor, right? We need to spread this information out and let people know that we're not just back doctors. We don't just fix necks. It's way bigger than this. Um, what do you have? An Apple phone or an Android?
Apple.
You do you do the upgrades on it, right?
Yeah,
Weekly, monthly, whatever it is,
sometimes.
it requires it to be updated, the operating system.
Right.
That's what we're doing. We're upgrading your operating system.
Oh, I love that
We're
analogy.
allowing it to work better, more efficient. Um, it's amazing. The nervous system is incredible and it looks for consistency, right? If you feel unsafe, there's no consistency there. So
Right.
getting adjusted upgrades your nervous system, your operating system. It makes you more consistent with that feeling, which is a tremendous win,
Yeah.
given all the madness and craziness in the world currently.
Yeah, that's for sure. Everybody needs your services these days.
I agree. I totally agree. I had a colleague not too long ago ask me if I was injured, if I got hurt, me personally as a chiropractor, how often would I be at the chiropractor's office? I'd
Yeah,
be there
that's
every day.
wow. That's a really great
If
question.
possible, 2 times a day. I'm not
Wow.
even kidding about that.
That's amazing.
Hmm.
That
So, to put it back on the patient, it's like, yeah, I get it, right? It's money and time.
right.
But without your health, you have neither of those other two.
That's very true. That's very true. What's something that like what do you see the connection between physical wellness and spirituality is?
Hand in hand. Software versus hardware, right? Hardware is our body. Software, I guess you could say, is the mind as well. But spirituality, absolutely, is big tie in there. And again, it goes back to perspective, right? What's that narrative that you're telling yourself? Are
Yeah,
you a spiritual person? Are you not a spiritual person? And I don't think it's right or wrong. I think it's just your narrative, your perspective. For me
right.
personally, those go hand in hand.
Have you always been a spiritual person even before you were a chiropractor?
Yes. Yes. And I imagine this is maybe true for everybody, but definitely true for me. There's times where you're more in tune, right? You're more in your spiritual being, you're more connected. And there's times where you shift out a little bit and you start questioning things, but I think that's part of the process. I think you're spiritual whether you like it or not,
I
period.
think
But
that's very true.
you know, going back to bring it back 360, like, are you listening?
Are you
You know,
listening?
what's your spirit telling you? What does it move
Is
you to
anybody
do?
home?
Yeah, that's a great question too.
Is there anybody in there?
Hmm?
Just not if you can hear me. That's a great song. Um,
I
so
don't know
what,
that version.
oh, I'll think of it and I'll tell you what it is later. You know that song. You know that song. I'm sure you do. Maybe you're too young to know that song. Anyway,
Try me later. We'll talk about it later.
we'll talk about it later. Um, so what's been a big holy shift in your life?
Hmm. I don't know if I've had a major like holy shift. It's been more of a transitional thing.
Really?
Yeah, I believe in my heart that I've always been a healer, but accepting that might have been the holy shit, right? Because now you have a responsibility. What is it? With great power comes great. What is that Spider-Man thing? With
I
great power comes
don't
great
know.
responsibility. Something
Yeah,
along
I think
those
that's what it
lines.
is. It's like that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So yeah, you're a healer. You're almost responsible to help people.
yeah. Well, it's stepping into your purpose.
Yes. I think that probably was a big shift for me.
Yeah,
Um, just realizing like, wow, I can make a difference in somebody's life. And yes, there's ripple effects.
big ones,
Hmm.
really big ones. Yeah. Um, where do people get to work with you?
I'm located in beautiful Norwalk, right
Right
off the
off
highway.
exit 16.
But yeah, I'm in Norwalk. They can get a hold of me through phone, email, website.
What's your
But yeah, I'm in
website?
Norwalk. Uppercervicaldoc.org.
Fabulous. I'll make sure that all that contact information is there. Um,
Thank you.
I'm curious about what brings you back into alignment when you feel off.
We're talking about physically or spiritually.
Yes.
So there's this word that chiropractors use. It's subluxation. And if you break down that word, it just means partial dislocation, right? So your vertebra become partially dislocated, which causes it can cause all kinds of havoc, right? Neurological, structural. So that's a subluxation. I believe that you can also be spiritually subluxated,
Absolutely.
right? You're not aligned spiritually. So what brings me back to it? Breath work, meditation. This is gonna sound crazy, but go walk outside, hug a tree.
Hug a tree. I love it.
But seriously though, I really mean that.
I know you
Um,
mean it.
just sitting outside, listening to the birds, right? That frequency in the bird is so powerful, especially with all this crap with the computers and the blue screen and the blue lights and the LED lights and blah da 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 da. Just go outside.
Just
Leave your
go
phone inside.
outside. Yeah,
Hmm.
yesterday I was up at Sticks and Stones Farm in Newtown and I got there early for my meeting and I just sat outside and just meditated and opened my eyes and I saw a hummingbird and I
Oh,
saw,
I love
I
hummingbirds.
mean, come on, it doesn't get better than that. And a butterfly, a couple of butterflies dancing around in this beautiful
Yeah,
garden. And I was like, yeah, this is awesome.
yeah,
Listening to the birds
yeah.
singing.
I think that brings us back. It grounds us. It's we're part of that.
Yeah. Yeah, there's magic all around us, right? Within us and around us.
Yes. Now
Well,
we just
thank
got to
you.
listen and use it.
We got to listen. So I invite the listeners to listen to what's happening for them, what their thoughts are, what their bodies are telling them, and see what you can do about that.
But yeah, totally. I love meeting new patients, new people from different walks of life, and everybody's so unique and their stories so special that yes, there's generic ways of treating people, right, from chiropractic standpoint, but I think that's something that we do very well in my office, that we really get to know the patient. We start to really focus on who they are and how we can make a difference in their life. If we could change it even by 1 degree, they're not going to end up where they were going. We change their trajectory.
I love that. That's where the magic happens. It's
Yeah.
that interface, right?
Hmm.
Awesome. Thank you, Dr. Walter, for being with me today.
Thank you for having me. Truly an honor. Seriously.
Seriously, don't be too serious. Laughter's a good
Well,
holy
you know who I
shifter. All right,
am.
y'all. Thanks for being here. Stay tuned for the next episode.
Bye.